Welcome to My Long Island TV. From Manhasset to Montauk, Long Island is full of fantastic people. We have traveled into many of our great communities to bring you the following stories. I'm your host, Waldo Cabrera. Get ready, My Long Island TV starts now.
We have 8 lighthouses right within the town of Southold. And these lighthouses are offshore lighthouses. The 8 are the ones that are remaining. We've lost, unfortunately, a lot of lighthouses over time. That's why we're trying to preserve them now.
The official name is the Long Beach Bar Bug, B-U-G, Lighthouse. What happened is 1871, when they built the lighthouse, it was built on what we call a screw pile foundation. Whereas when you looked at it from the distance, you saw little legs coming down and it looked like a water bug. So the nickname was Bug Light. Well, in 1926, they put a foundation in the lighthouse and they did away with the so-called bug legs coming down from the lighthouse. So it wasn't a screw pile foundation anymore, it was just a foundation. But for some reason, the nickname Bug Light always remained the same, and to this day, it's still called Bug Light. They had a fog bell, the bell that you see. Well, what they used to do, the bell was hooked up to a clockwork mechanism where you would wind it up every 2 hours. So if you had fog for 2 days in a row, every 2 hours you would have to go up, you would have to wind it, and then every 15 seconds the clapper would hit the bell. And with my dad, with his grandfather, you know who was winding it up every 2 hours, don't you? We don't have to talk about that. The site of the lighthouse was where my great-grandfather was the lighthouse keeper, and my dad quit school in the 9th grade to be his assistant. They both worked there together until they left in April of 1940, and soon after that the lighthouse was not kept up by resident keepers. It was a visiting lighthouse, and then it was decommissioned. Vandals set the fire on the 4th of July, 1963. For 27 years, all that was left was the foundation. In 1990, the East End Seaport Museum, their members and volunteers got together and rebuilt the lighthouse. It took 60 days at a cost of $140,000 with a lot of people volunteering. They built it in 3 sections, took it out on a barge to the existing foundation, reattached it to the foundation, and at night, after a fireworks display, they had a working lighthouse. In fact, there's a story that one person went out in the morning to go fishing and all it was the foundation. Well, after everything that happened, they put the lighthouse back together, they lit the lighthouse, they had a firework display. Well, the guy came back after everything was done and all of a sudden he looked over and there was a lighthouse and it was lit. And to this day, we don't know if the guy started or stopped drinking at that day. Well, I was really happy because while they were building it, my dad gave a lot of the information and they built it according to what he was telling them about it. He gave a lot of old information about what happened on the light, what it looked like, where it was, etc. But unfortunately, 2 months before they were going to dedicate the light, my dad was going to throw the ceremonial switch, but Dad passed away, and at the age of 72. So I came out, I made a speech in his behalf, and then I had my mom went out, she threw the ceremonial switch, and they lit the lighthouse. It's always a pleasure sharing my lighthouse heritage with the passengers on my tour. We're a non-profit organization. We don't get paid for this. We just love lighthouses and love sharing stories about them.
This is really one of the rare opportunities for people to actually step on board and actually be on a lighthouse. There are very few in the United States that they can visit.
I think Bug Light is really cool. I've been looking at paintings of Bug Light and photos for years, and the idea of getting to set foot on it is amazing. It's absolutely amazing.